everyone and welcome to the MHA Digital Communities, and this is our standing exercise routine. My name's Hannah and we're going to be going through some upper and lower body workouts. And just before we start, just some health tips for exercising at home. We're going to be having our room around us so we can move our hands to the front and to the side. And also if we can have our appropriate footwear on for our exercises today. If at any point any of the exercises start to hurt, leave that exercise and go on to the next one. And also pause the video at any point where we need a break for our water or just to have a relax and come back when you're ready. And also go at your own pace. If you need to go slower than me, you can always pause the video and come back when you're ready. Okay, and now we're going to do our warm-up just before we start, making sure we've got our space again because we will be moving. And we're going to have our nice posture. We're going to have our feet about hip width apart and we're going to have a slight bend in our knee. We're going to try and keep it nice and straight with our back and our shoulders back and our head up nice and proud. We're going to start with our nice deep breaths in just to get that oxygen flowing. We're going to breathe in as we bring our hands up, and then breathing out as we come down. We can do that one more time, breathing in and then breathing out. Perfect. We're going to warm up our shoulders and our chest with some shoulder rolls. So we're going to do 4 back and 4 forward. And we're ready. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 4 forward. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Perfect. We're going to wake up our waist and our core now. We're going to do some twists. So our lower body is going to stay where it is and we're going to twist from our waist just to the side, and our arms can follow, and then to the other side. Perfect. Go slower than me if you need to. And one more time each side. And last one. Perfect. We're just going to wake up our hips as well. We're just going to do a slight forward bend. And for this one, go as far as we can. Don't push ourselves too much. So we're going to have our nice bend in our knee. And we're going to go forward just until we feel comfortable. And then slowly coming back up. Perfect. We're going to do that one more time if we can. And slowly up. Perfect. And then we're going to warm up our lower body as well. We're just going to start with raising our heels, so our toes are going to stay on the floor. And one at a time, just raising our heels. We can swing our arms at the same time if we want to. Perfect. I'm going to stop in 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. If we feel nice and warmed up after that, we can go on to our upper body. If we just need an extra warm up, we're just going to march on the spot. Just bringing our feet lightly off the floor. And we're going to swing our arms. Perfect. And don't forget to go at your own pace, so you can go slower than me if you want to. It's not a race. We'll all get there in the end. Perfect. And if you feel dizzy at any point during our exercises today, pause the video and come back when you're feeling better. Okay, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go into our upper body workouts. So while we do these ones, we're just going to keep our lower body still. We're just going to have our feet about hip width apart with a nice bend in our knee. But we're going to keep up nice and straight with our upper body. So again, making sure we've got enough room just to move our arms around this time. And with our lower body, we're going to have our feet about hip width apart with our bent knee, and we're going to try and straight up nice and straight with our upper body. So our first one we're going to do today is our arm circles. So we're going to have our hands up by our side, and we're going to try and keep our arm nice and straight. If that feels uncomfortable, we can have a bend in our elbow. And what we can also do, we can do one hand at a time if we need to. So for this one, I'm going to use both my hands at the same time. And all we're going to do is we're going to do our circles by the side of us. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 6 backwards and then 6 coming forward. So when we're ready, drop our hands at any time if it feels uncomfortable. And we're going to go starting with backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Rest them there for a second if we need to. And then when we're ready, we're going to do 6 forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect. Drop them down. Give them a shake. And again, checking our posture. And then we're going to have our hands in front of us for the next one. And this one we're going to do circles in front. So one at a time, we're going to have our hands going in a circle. And then on the opposite one, there, perfect. We're going to do 6 on each side. We have our elbows tucked in so we can use our muscles in our arms. And when we're ready, slowly with 1, 2, perfect. Keep going. Drop our arms at any point if we need to. There we go, we're halfway through. 3 more each on each side. 2. And last one each side. Perfect. Drop our hands if we need to stretch our hands as well. And our next one, we're going to be doing our flashes. So again, for our stability, we have our nice stretched upper body and our nice bent knees to help with our balance. And this one, all we need to do is bring our elbows in by our side. We're going to have our hands up by our front. And if we can, have a clenched fist. If not, just have a relaxed fingers. And all we're going to do is bring our hands down and flash our fingers out. And then coming back in, relaxing. And then we bring it slightly higher each time until we reach shoulder height. And then what we'll do is we'll reverse that down. Perfect. So when we're ready, we're going to start with our elbows in, fists in front of us, and starting down and up. Down and up. Perfect. And then to the side and in. And then we're going to reverse that down. So starting side and in, side and in, and then down and in. Perfect. Can we do that one more time? Starting with down and in, side and in, and then to the side and in. And reversing down, side and in, side and in, and then down and in. Perfect, well done. Give your arms a shake if we need to. So that's our 3 upper body exercises. So now we're going to go on to our lower body exercises. Okay, and now on to our lower body exercises. So again, we're going to start with our nice posture for this one. And for our upper body, if we help with our balance, we can have our hands on our hips. And it also may help to have our hands out by the side. But we will also show you a variation just to use a chair in front of us or by the side just to help with our balance. So for our first one, we're going to have our weight on one side and we're going to do our football kick. So for this one, if we can imagine we've got a football in front of us and we're just going to kick it away. So for this one, make sure we're nice and stable, and in between each one, we're going to kick our ball and then we can tap. And if we need to stay here for a second just to get our balance, that's fine. And then we're going to do 6 on each foot. So we're going to do 6 on this foot and then change. Okay, when we're ready, nice and straight with our upper body and kicking across and tap. Perfect. Stay here if we need to. And 3 more this side. Kicking that football away. And last one this side. Perfect. So now we can pop our weight onto that foot we've just kicked with, making sure we've got a bend in our knee, and then we can try it on the other side. So 6 on this side as well. So kicking across, and then tap and step on that foot if we need to get our balance. Kicking across. Perfect. 3. 3 more. 2. Last one. And down. Perfect. Coming back to our neutral position. Again, for this one, we will be working on one leg at a time. So if we do need help with our balance, up nice and straight, we will also show you a variation to help with a chair. Okay, so for this one, again, making sure we've got a nice sturdy standing leg, and we're going to make circles on the floor. So with our first leg, we're going to come forward and then make a circle round the side. And then when we get to our point where we feel comfortable, coming back in again. Perfect. So we're going to do 6 on each side, and then we'll swap. Okay, when we're ready, coming forward, around, and then in. Perfect. Go slower if we need to, and in. Halfway through this side, and in. 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. Perfect. So we're going to pop our weight onto the foot we've just used, and then we're going to do 6 on this side. Perfect. When we're ready, coming forward and in. Perfect. Halfway through and in. 3 more this side. And in. 2 and 1. Perfect. And coming up to straight, we're going to be doing our taps. So again, for this one, we'll show you a variation with our chair. But for this one, we can have our hands on our hips, our hands out by our side to help with our balance. Now I'll show you quickly what we're going to do. On each foot, one at a time, we're just going to tap forward and in, and then we're going to tap out and in. Then we can tap back and in. If we feel uncomfortable tapping straight back, we can tap at an angle as long as we're moving. Perfect. And then we're going to reverse that to come forward. Okay, nice sturdy standing leg, and we're going to start going forward. Tap and in. Side and in. Lovely. Back and in. Reversing this foot. Back and in. Side and in. And forward and in. Perfect. We're going to pop our weight onto that foot that we've just used. Then we're going to do the same on this foot. So tapping forward and in, out and in and back and in. Lovely. Reversing that. Back and in, side and in, and last one forward and in. And for our variation with this one, with our chair to help us with our balance, our chair will be to our side that we can lean on if we need help with. We can also have our hand on our hip on our other side. So our standing leg will be on the outside, and when we do our kicks, it will just be kicking away from the chair. Perfect. Kicking away and in. When we need to go to the other foot, we can change round. And our inside foot again will be kicking out. And to help us with our foot circles, we may need a chair to our side, which we can lean on just to help our balance. And we can also have our hand on our hips. So our standing leg will be our inside leg. And with our outside leg, we can do our circles on the floor, going away from our chair. Perfect. And if we need to go to the other side, we can just swap over, and our outside leg will be doing our circles again. To help with our taps, we can have our chair by our side, which we can lean on for help on our balance, and we can also have our hand on our hip. So our inside leg will be our standing leg, and our outside leg can do our taps forward, to the side, and behind. And when we need to go onto the other leg, just switching round so that our outside leg can do our taps. And out, and behind. Perfect, there we go. That's our 3 lower body exercises. So now we're going to go on to our cool down and stretch. To finish off today, we're going to do our cool down and our stretches. So we'll make sure we've got our nice posture, our nice bent knee. We're going to stay nice and straight with our upper body. We're going to do our head to toe stretch. So to start, stretch out our upper body muscles that we've used. We use one hand to come across as if we're grabbing for something until we feel our stretch here. If we don't feel that just yet, we can use our other hand just to pull our arm slightly towards us. Really stretching though, as if we're grabbing for something. I'm going to be here for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly changing to the other arm. Again, if we need our hand just to pull in towards ourselves slightly, but grab in with the other hand. And stretching here for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And slowly back to neutral. We'll stretch out our side and our torso. And we're just going to have one hand, we're just going to lean down to one side until we feel a stretch down our side. And also have our hand up for our balance. Perfect. And holding for 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming up. And we're going to go the other side. Using our hand, we can have our hand by our side as well for balance, until we feel that stretch on our side. Lovely. And staying here for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And very slowly coming up. We'll stretch out our hip muscles. We're just going to have our feet slightly further apart with a nice bend. We're going to have our hips back, and we're just going to bend forward until it feels comfortable. And then very slowly coming back up. Perfect. One more time here. Nice bend in our knee. Going until we feel comfortable. And very slowly back up. Perfect. Just to stretch out our lower body now. With one foot at a time, we're going to bring our foot forward and just our heel on the floor with our toe up. We're going to have a bend in our standing leg. Perfect. If we feel that the back of our leg, stay here. If we don't quite feel it yet, we can push our hips back and bend slightly forward until we get that stretch. Perfect. And slowly coming up and swapping our feet. So our other heel coming forward, toe up, and a bend in our standing leg. If we feel that here, perfect. If not, we can pop our hips back and a slight bend until we feel that stretch at the back of our leg. Perfect. And slowly coming up. And we'll do a quick lunge forward. So one foot at a time. Then come forward. We're going to have a bend in this forward knee. And we're going to try and keep our back knee straight if we can. Or with a bend. Perfect. And slowly coming up and changing. There we go. Bending our forward leg and keeping our back leg straight as we can. And slowly coming up when we're ready. And we're going to finish with our deep breaths and our side stretches. So we're going to do a deep breath in. Bringing our hands to our side, stretching out, and a deep breath out. We'll do it one more time to finish. Breathing in and breathing out. Perfect. Thank you for joining us today for our standing exercise routine for MHA Digital Communities. I've been Hannah and we'll see you again very soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.